Hey guys, YFoss1225 here with another Elder Scrolls Online Saturday, another NDA free Elder Scrolls Online Saturday, I should add. We're only 40 days away from Elder Scrolls Online, which is crazy, and it's actually only 35 if you got the if you're going for the pre-release, if you got the pre-order. So really close. It's only like a month away. It's just crazy. Like I've said before, I've been tracking this game since like 2012. It's been a long road, and the game's come really far, and I'm really just so excited to get my hands on the finished product. But first I wanted to mention that the gameplay you're seeing on the screen isn't mine. I think I said last video, I was so excited to get into the beta both times. I just like hopped right into it, and I just completely forgot to even record any footage. So the gameplay you're seeing comes from MMORPG.com. If you guys haven't checked them out, I definitely recommend doing it. Great website, great YouTube channel, and you got a link in the description to both of those. So let's get into the agenda for today. We're going to briefly cover the Ask Us Anything, just really quickly. It wasn't a lot of stuff, but just a few things I'm going to mention from that. And then we're going to get into the meat of the video, which is the blacksmithing video that came out this week. And then you can see that on the screen while I'm talking about that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Aldmeri Dominion. Then we're going to go into when the next beta is going to be, talk about the developer question of the week, and that's pretty much going to be the video. So without any further ado, let's just hop into the Ask Us Anything. The first thing I'm not even going to read off the questions because there really wasn't that much news. I'm just going to go straight through the information pretty quickly. I really want to get into the blacksmithing. So there's confirmed that there are 8 character slots. So originally they said 4, and now it's 8. So that's pretty cool. There are 4 classes, so you'll get to make 2 characters in each class. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you don't have to do that. So that's pretty good. That's a lot of character slots. I think that's even more than like Guild Wars 2 had. So yeah, good amount of character slots, so that's good. Next we learned about the Ring of Mara, and this is something I like. So obviously the Ring of Mara is a bond between 2 people, and you get like more XP when you're in battle with each other. So a lot of people are wondering, do both people need the Ring of Mara, or does one person just need it and then those 2 people wear it? So when you pre-order the Imperial Edition, you will get 2 Rings of Mara, 1 for each person to wear. So if you want to make the whatever they call it, the bond with another player, you can do that, and they don't even have to have pre-ordered the game and gotten the Rings of Mara, so that's pretty cool. And I know I said Imperial Edition, but you actually get the Rings of Mara with the Explorer Pack, which comes in any pre-order. Okay, so now let's talk about the Explorer Pack. So there was a lot of confusion because, the game comes out 5 days early if you pre-ordered it. And a lot of people were wondering, do I get the bonuses, 5 days before April 4th, or do I get it on April 4th? So the Explorer Pack is coming out April 4th, but when you launch the game to play it 5 days early, you will be able to choose any race on any alliance, that sort of thing. So obviously that's really important, because if you want to play a different race on an alliance, you need to do that from the beginning. So that's kind of good. I don't really know why the Explorer Pack can't be in the game 5 days early, but it's not that huge of a deal. One thing I want to mention, because this did affect me, if you pre-ordered the game from like a third-party store, like I got mine from Best Buy so I can go pick up the physical edition, the midnight of the release. But anyway, if you did pre-order from a third-party store, you have to get your redeem code from them, and they should email it to you. So just make sure you did that. I know I missed the email at first. I had to go back and I got it. I wasn't sure whether or not I actually got the access, but you do. So if you did pre-order from one of those, make sure you check your email. Next on the list, we have that you can't change your guild, you can't change the alliance your guild belongs to. Now, I didn't think you were going to be able to, but if you start your guild on the Ebonheart Pack, you can't switch to the Daggerfall Covenant. So when you're making your guild, just make sure you choose the alliance you really want. Next, there was some confusion about whether or not you had to play as an Imperial in order to change a style of gear into the Imperial style, and any race will be able to do that if you pre-order the game, and that's pretty cool. Another quick little thing that they mentioned is that vanity pets are account-wide, so if you want your little mudcrab to follow you on more than one character, you can certainly do that. Let's talk about the crafting now, and this is really the part I'm really excited about, because the crafting system just looks so awesome. I am really excited to do that, so let's just dive into that. So we got this probably like 7-minute video, I think, on the blacksmithing in the game. It really covered, blacksmithing and, woodworking, different things like that. I'm sure we are going to get more videos on alchemy and enchanting in the future, but this one focused on blacksmithing, and it just looks really awesome. So it was another developer per play session. So like Paul Sage, Nick Conkle, and another guy were just playing, and they talked about it. So let me just tell you guys a little bit about what we saw and what I really liked from that video. So the first thing we saw is that crafting does take gathering. Now, this is pretty standard, but one thing I love about the Elder Scrolls Online is you don't need like a tool or anything to gather a certain item. The most annoying thing I think I've experienced in MMO was in Guild Wars. I was trying to get into crafting, so I was like, you know what, why don't I try like alchemy? So I was like, I'm gonna pick up some plants. But so I was like, you know, in one of the zones, and I found this plant, and I went to pick it up, and it was like, you can't pick up the plant, you don't have the right tool. And that was just so annoying, because like, really, I can't pick up the plant. So that's definitely wouldn't be Elder Scrolls if they did that. So anyone can collect any item, and anyone can craft anything, just like any Elder Scrolls game. So other than just picking up items, you can also get like leather from animals. You know, just get crafting gear from around the world. You'll have to mine, or it definitely looks a lot like an Elder Scrolls game gathering system. So we also saw this skill called Keen's Eye, which looked really cool. It points out, you know, crafting places in the world, or not crafting places, places to gather materials for crafting. And it was a cool skill. It was one of the first times we actually got to look at some of the crafting skills. So that was just a quick little thing. Now I want to go into what I'm really excited about, which is the crafting locales, as they called them. So basically you craft these things they call set pieces, and different set pieces have a different bonus, and you can only get that bonus at that crafting locale. So if I wanted the bonus they were using in the video, which was like the Mundus bonus or something like that, I can only get it by going to that crafting locale. And these crafting locales are just like these places around the world that you can only find through exploring, which is awesome, and I'll talk about that later. You can only find them through exploring, and once you know, get to the place, you usually have to clear out some enemies. Once you get there, it's a place where you can craft items, and all the items you craft there are going to have a certain bonus. Now this is just awesome, because that bonus cannot be achieved anywhere else. It's not going to be dropping from a boss. It really is, you have to go explore, find one of these crafting locales, and make one of these set pieces if you want that bonus. Now this is just awesome, and what this is going to do is just, it's going to make exploring, number one, so much better, because crafters are just going to want to find these crafting locales. And I mean, yeah, sure, you could look it up online, but a lot of them you're going to come across naturally, not even, you know it. So you're going to come across this cool crafting locale, and then you're going to craft this awesome armor with this cool bonus. It really does encourage exploration. You know, have to go out there and find these things is pretty awesome. Now another thing it does is it makes, you know, your items more unique. If you have an item that you had to go to this certain place and make, you know, not everyone's going to be running around with that armor, and you can be sure of that. And just more and more, this crafting system just looks so deep and so awesome. I really just can't wait to get my hands on it. I should mention that in these crafting locales, you can craft any armor. Obviously, it's not like enchanting or alchemy. It's really just making items. So you got things like woodworking, which makes like bows, staves, shields. You got your cloth, whatever they call it. I think clothier is what they call it. But basically light and medium armor, and then you got like your armor smithing, which is the heavy armor, and your weapon smithing, which is weapons. So all of those you're going to be able to craft at these crafting locales and get the bonus that the certain crafting locale has. And again, this is just so awesome, and I have to say, the armor looked really great. I know I've heard some people complaining about how the armor looks, and I'm a little bit confused about that, because I just think the armor looks good, and I kind of get where they're coming from. A lot of people say it looks flat, it doesn't have enough texture on it. I get that. I don't know, I don't really mind it that much. I think the armor just looks beautiful. I think all the pieces look really unique, and I can't wait just to get that veteran gear and just make my own awesome armor and just make my character look really unique. So the next thing we saw in the video was research. So in order to learn a trait of an item, you have to destroy the item. And this is something that we've kind of seen in other Elder Scrolls games. In order to learn a new like enchantment, you had to, you know, take the enchantment from an item that was in Skyrim. So it's not something that's new to the Elder Scrolls series at all. So that's pretty cool, and just pretty standard, just something I wanted to mention. They did say that research is gonna, you know, take a lot of time in order to build up your knowledge, which is pretty cool, and I'm sure a lot of people will have to quest for the items that have the certain bonus they want, so that just makes, you know, questing even more part of crafting. So this crafting system really looks like it's gonna, you know, force you to, you know, quest for new items, explore the world to find these crafting locales, and I'm just super excited for it, and I think the crafting system just looks just so amazing, probably better than any game, and I know that's a huge statement, but it just looks so awesome. Let's talk about the different racial styles. So I'm sure you guys all know that there's a different racial style of armor for each race. So you're going to start off knowing your race, and if you pre-ordered the game, the Imperial Edition, you also know the Imperial race. And in order to learn other races, you have to find these racial motifs, as they call them, and they're going to be scattered throughout the world, and then you can learn new styles of crafting. So it's a pretty cool system, and I mean, it just makes more armor if every armor has a different racial style. I mean, we're talking 10 races in the game with the Imperials, so take the number of armor styles the game would usually have, or different armors that the game would usually have, and multiply that by 10, and it's just a great system, and it just makes so many different kinds of armor, which is really cool. It also lets you know if you and another guy have the same armor, it lets you look different than him while still wearing the same armor. So it's a pretty cool system, and it just adds for more customability of your character. I don't know if that's a word, but it really lets you make your character your own, which is really cool. So now we gotta look at the how to improve items. So, in Skyrim you would have to, use ore, and you'd have to have a certain skill to do it. That's not the same in Elder Scrolls Online. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to find these things called tempers. I'm pretty sure we've never seen these in an Elder Scrolls game, but I mean that's okay. Anyway, tempers, you have to use those to improve your armor, and it's kind of a gambling thing. The more tempers you use, the higher chance that you'll actually get to the next level. And I'm sure you'll have to find these tempers around the world in dungeons and things like that. So, if you use one, you might have a 15% chance of getting to the next level, but if you use, 6, you'll get, 100% chance. There is going to be a skill called Magnus's Curious, which allows you to improve your chances of getting to the next level, and that's pretty cool. One last thing I want to mention is that as you improve your armor, the look actually changes. So in Skyrim, when you improved your armor to a legendary standard, your armor just looked the same as when it was at its weakest point. But in this game, your armor actually continues to look better and more powerful, which is a really nice touch, and it lets you really see your progression through the crafting system, which is nice. So now let's talk about the Aldmeri Dominion. So I want to get into the Aldmeri Dominion. Now I'm not playing as this pact or as this faction, but I did want to talk about how they've seemed to be owning in PvP and just why. So in every PvP impression video I watch, and every video of PvP gameplay I watch, if you look at the map, the Aldmeri Dominion is always, always controlling most of Cyrodiil, and you ask yourself why, and just do they have a natural advantage? And I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's just crazy, and I think the real reason is that a lot of the hardcore games are going to the Aldmeri Dominion, and I think it's pretty much just because at first everyone was thinking that the Aldmeri Dominion was gonna be the worst faction. They're racist. No one really wants to be part of them. So a lot of the hardcore gamers decided to go there, and a lot of YouTubers started talking about how they were going to the Aldmeri Dominion. A great example is the Shoddycast, awesome podcast. They're going to the Aldmeri Dominion, and I'm sure they've gotten a lot of people to go there. So now the Aldmeri Dominion actually has more people than all the other factions, which isn't playing a role in them doing good in PvP, I don't think. But I just think a lot of the really hardcore gamers are going there. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you really love PvP, you might want to go to the Aldmeri Dominion just because they seem to be really just owning it at PvP. They really just, if you look at the map, all the other factions are sort of in their entry corners, and the Aldmeri Dominion just have control of the Imperial city. They just have pretty much control of everything else. So just something to keep in mind. And yeah, I'm still sticking with the Ebonheart Pact, and hopefully, it'll be some sort of underdog story. I'm sure it's not going to always be the case. I'm not saying that if you're part of the Daggerfall Covenant, there's no chance of you ever doing well. I'm just saying it's something that I've noticed, and I just want to mention. So now I just want to talk about when the next beta is going to be. I've heard some people talking about it online. Obviously, with the NDA dropped, a lot of people are pumped to get back into the beta and share more stories about it. I'm really excited to get into the beta because my level 9, I'm so close to level 10 with my I think I made a Khajiit. Yeah, I made a Khajiit and played with Aldmeri Dominion because I didn't want to ruin Ebonheart's story for myself. But I'm level 9, I'm so close to level 10, so I'm really excited to get in it because I could actually try PvP. But yeah, I'm really excited to just get in. I know a lot of people else, other people are, so the big question is, when is the next beta round going to be? I think they're definitely going to be doing a beta round before launch, maybe even 2. I really see no reason not to go into like an open beta. I know they're not going to an open beta, but really just get as many beta tests as you can in before the game. Number one, to stress test your system. Another thing, the more people play the game, the more chances you have of people playing it and liking it and wanting to buy it. So I don't really see a reason not to have more beta tests. So there is a possibility of having a beta test next weekend, but I'd say definitely expect to have like at least 2 before launch. So with that being said, let's get into the developer question of the week.
Hi, I'm Dominic Davies, one of the content editors here at ZeniMax Online Studios, and this is the question of the week. In the Elder Scrolls Online, adventurers are able to learn how to craft in the different racial styles of Tamriel. So, which wild combination of armor styles are you most looking forward to experimenting with in-game?
So let me just say before I even get into anything, I love all the different race styles. As I said earlier in the video, I just think this system is just amazing. I think they all look just really great. I think they all fit the races really great. My favorite, though, I have to say, is the Argonian. Looks really tribal and really, I don't know, it just has a really Argonian look to it that I really like. I also like the Nordic armor, so I have to say I'll probably be wearing medium armor and a mix of Argonian and Nordic. And I know this sounds weird, but I mean, I'm not set on that or anything. I just think that might look kind of cool. But really I just go for whatever looks cool. And I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to look at stats too. In Skyrim I really just wore whatever looked cool, so I was like level, I don't know, 65, and I still wore like ebony armor with the shrouded cowl just because I thought it looked awesome. And I wasn't getting owned, and it was a single player game, so it didn't matter. But moving to an MMO, it's a little different. I'll have to think about the best stats I can get, just because it is competitive, and I'll have to make some sacrifices in the way of style, just for the faction and just to look good. But yeah, I just think the different styles just look so great, and I'm just really excited to get crafting. This blacksmithing video just got me so excited for crafting the game. In terms of what kind of crafting I'm going to do, I'm probably going into woodworking just because I'm a huge fan of the bow. I'll probably be going to woodworking and probably armor smithing, I want to say. I also like provisioning. I just think the whole cooking thing is kind of cool. But I'll probably just play around with them, see which one fits me the best, and just go with that. And that's really the best way to decide which one you like anyway. So yeah, crafting just overall just looks so amazing. Like I said, I'm just really excited. So this video just really got me pumped, and I can't wait to see the other crafting videos. So keep in mind, guys, I know I haven't been mentioning this, but I still do take player questions, and I'll be answering those. So anything that you have, just ask me, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Really, I'm so excited for Elder Scrolls Online. I spent like 2 hours yesterday just looking at different gameplay. I can't wait to get my hands on it. It really is just going to be like the game, my go-to game. I plan on pouring hundreds and hundreds of hours into the game, so I'm really just excited to get into it. Just a quick advertisement for my guild. I do have a role-playing PvP guild called the Bearborn Clan. A lot of lore behind the guild, and if you want to see that video, I'll post a link in the description to that. I'll also be posting a link to our forums, and all you have to do to join is just introduce yourself, and then make a character, and we'll walk you through it. If you just go there and, make an account, we'll definitely help you through the process of joining. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you join up. It is going to be a smaller guild and a really close-knit community, so just keep that in mind. So thank you guys so much for watching, and Elder Scrolls Online Saturday is going to keep going. I don't know what I'm going to do after launch. I am kind of debating whether or not to keep doing Elder Scrolls Online Saturday and just talk about different things every week. I'll definitely be doing videos on Elder Scrolls Online. I'll be doing, maybe even gameplay videos, which is something new to my channel. But I'll just be covering every single little thing about Elder Scrolls Online when it comes out. And I'll also be covering, like the new releases every month, new content and things like that. So I don't know whether Elder Scrolls Online Saturday will continue, but it is at least going to continue until launch. So keep that in mind, guys. Another thing I'm going to be doing in terms of videos is Tamriel Then and Now. I've already started preparing for that. It's going to be like footage of Cyrodiil and like Oblivion, and then footage of Cyrodiil in Elder Scrolls Online, just so you can see how they've changed. And I'll be doing that with pretty much every providence that we've seen in another Elder Scrolls game. So lots of cool content coming for Elder Scrolls Online, so stay tuned, guys, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.